What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. This is the 25th video in my Dreaming Spanish series, the 1150 hour update. Now, I need to warn you guys, I need to warn all of you, you will not enjoy this episode, and it will not be over quickly. We are going to be talking about what I've done over the last 50 hours using Dreaming Spanish and the Dreaming Spanish methodology, which is a implementation of ALG, Automatic Language Growth, to improve my Spanish. Now, I say improve here, but I honestly don't think I have improved. And realistically, I think I've gone backwards. So here's the stats, 1,153 hours. As you can see, I am on my way to the very, very last level, level 7. If we go have a look at July, every day I did about 2 hours, but there's been quite a few more days this period, like this 50-hour update of time, where I actually barely hit the goal or didn't hit it at all. Okay, like it was like way behind. Some days like 33 minutes and something. What's going on there, you might be wondering? Is it because I've become more busy in life? No, it's because I've become more disillusioned with this methodology. I'm going to be completely honest. This is going to be really raw. If you are a fan of ALG, you might just want to click off at this point, okay? Or even this method, because I'm going to unload right now, okay? Basically, what has happened over the last 50 hours is I was starting with doing more lessons on Worlds Across, and then I stopped in the last update. Actually, that happened before this update. I stopped in the last update with the whole, what was it? There was like an earthquake over in Venezuela, and I just didn't want to go back because every time I went back, I was unable to converse. Like, it would just be me stumbling, trying to literally make up Spanish as I was going, because I'm following this very specific method. Obviously, you guys might be like, oh, Evildea, why don't you use this, that, and this tool over there in the comments section? Just remember that this is part of a greater challenge to test the methodology. And that methodology, when it comes to speaking, is just speak. Just try speak, okay? And I have been trying to speak, and it has been not a great experience overall, okay? So I resorted to doing a lot more crosstalk. As you can see, I'm at 67 hours now in total, okay? That's a lot of crosstalk. But what's happened with crosstalk is that I'm speaking Spanish to a degree, but it's also kind of degrading a little bit as my Esperanto, which is another language I speak, is very, very strong. It keeps impacting upon my Spanish. And that might be actually because I kind of got re-engaged with the Esperanto community locally a little bit. I haven't done too much. I just went to a couple of events, but out of nowhere, that just re-fortified that language in my mind. And it has definitely rolled on and impacted upon my Spanish, even though I've done maybe like 1 hour a week of it, okay? Previously, I hadn't done any any Esperanto for like months. The next thing is, during this update, I turned on subtitles. Now, I had subtitles kind of on and off during previous updates, but this update, I was watching movies on Netflix and stuff with subtitles that are basically closed captioned so I could see exactly what they were saying on screen. And it's at that moment that I realized that my comprehension of Spanish is actually way worse than I thought it was. Because when you have the subtitles up and you're watching them pass by as you're listening, you realize with this methodology, you have become really, really good at getting the gist of things, thinking you understand it, and then just letting everything else just pass by. Like, to the point where it's like, you don't even recognize that they're saying additional words. And I'm turning on the subtitles, I'm like, holy shit, they're saying so much more than I even realized before, and I'm not even hearing these words. Like, it's like I have trained myself to the point where I can hyper focus in on only what my brain wants to hear, and everything else is just, I don't know, I just don't hear it. I'm not even acknowledging its existence. It's like it's blind to me. Now, I also didn't get a response from Pablo at Dreaming Spanish regarding how much I need to read, but that whole thing about reading 1 to 3 million words, which I spoke about in my previous update, that has been just hanging over the top of me, because I know if I don't read that 1 to 3 million words by the time I hit the 1,500 hours, no matter the results of this challenge, okay, people are going to say I haven't done it correctly, because in an FAQ on Dreaming Spanish, they talk about reading 1 to 3 million words. And just the size of that number of words it's made it very, very difficult to keep reading, okay, realistically. Like, even though reading has probably been the most profitable to me, it's been very difficult to continue just knowing that I need to read 1 to 3 million words by the 1,500 hours. because that's my assumption based on what everyone's saying, based on the FAQ, etc., etc. Basically, I have been disillusioned from multiple different angles. Now, I have continued, as you saw, I did the 50 hours, but it's basically just been me watching movies, watching Dreaming Spanish with subtitles turned on, you know, looking down, seeing the words, looking up, a little bit of reading here and there, not much, and some crosstalk. But everything has just kind of ground to a slow pace. And to add even more problems on top of that, literally in a month, I'm going to China. So my Chinese has been on an opposite trajectory. It has been massively taking off. I have been suddenly unlocking large parts of the language that I hadn't unlocked about a month ago. I'm excited for this trip that's coming up. I'm putting more and more time into it. And as a result, my Spanish is suffering because I don't feel any progress. And because I don't feel any progress, I'm starting to put less and less effort in. And the less effort I put in, the less progress I feel. And it's just like a reinforcing pattern of just failure after failure after failure. Not the greatest thing. And I have obviously in my vlogs, because I make vlogs on this channel, I do both private and public ones. If you want to see those, you can just hit the join button down below, okay? In those, I have debated on and off about whether I should just wrap up this challenge. And when I say wrap up the challenge, I don't mean stop learning Spanish. I mean, call it quits, say that's the end of ALG for me. I've had enough. I'm sick of the DS method. I'm sick of this ALG like stuff. It doesn't work for me and it doesn't vibe with me. Obviously it's worked to a degree. I understand Spanish and I can watch Netflix, but like I understand Spanish and I understand Spanish are actually two different things. I think I understand Spanish, but do I actually understand Spanish is another thing, okay? So it's like, I would have actually already in this video said, this is the end of the challenge as an ALG challenge and continue it just as an actual language learning challenge, like me using all the tools at my disposal. I would have said that already if it wasn't for the fact that I'm going to China in a month and I don't want to have to start building out all the systems to start properly learning this language and getting myself into that mindset when realistically I'm not going to have much time. So I'm thinking at this stage, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing right now. Just try to get the 2 hours a day in, do crosstalk as I am with my friends, try do some input, maybe do a little bit of reading. I don't know. I really don't feel like it anymore. Just kind of keep the things moving and then keep it moving during my trip. Just do the bare minimum during my trip. And then when I come back, call it and go, that's it. This is what you're getting from me. And you know what the other part on top of it is? There's other people who started Spanish at the same time as me, both with ALG and without. And this has also kind of hit me in a lot of ways because those who started with ALG, I don't know anyone who's still doing it with ALG. They all stopped at some point and started like taking on different methods and implementing different things. Some of them say they're still doing ALG, but they're actually not. They've got like a more merged approach, just very, very heavy input. And then others who started actual, studying Spanish, like doing what I would recommend as I do on my Chinese, have outpaced me insanely. Realistically, the outcome at this point, it's not going to change anyone's minds. It's not going to change my own mind. I know what I can expect moving forward now. Like my accent is hardening around an Esperanto style accent. It may be clearing up a tiny, tiny itty bitty bit, but like, I don't know. That's what some people say. I don't feel it personally. My comprehension has slowed down to a snail's pace. Like I get a couple of new words here and there, but like content wise, I'm not really like, there's nothing amazing that's happening. Speaking wise is definitely almost stopped. Like what happened is I had this burst of where everything that I had heard during crosstalk and gaming for ages came out and then it stopped. Nothing else new came. It's just like, that was the end of it. It's like everything that I had in some way acquired via this method came out all at once and then there's nothing else. Nothing else is just free flowing out. And in fact, the more I try to push it, the more it actually merges into this weird hybrid Esperanto Spanish. I can literally hear it myself when I watch the crosstalk videos that I've dropped, where I'm like, that's not Spanish. That's Esperanto with Spanish verb endings or something like that. Like, there's nothing pushing me forward. Realistic. Actually, there's one thing pushing me forward, and that's the fact that I just wanted to complete this challenge up to 1,500 hours doing ALG. Because that's originally what I set out to test. But at this point, I know for me as a person and individual what I can expect from this method. you'll get pretty good understanding. You will block out large parts of the language and focus in, like your brain will subconsciously focus in on the parts that it feels is relevant to it. Speaking is going to sound like whatever languages you know. And everyone is saying, you know what? Like the people who are supportive of ALG and in the comment section, they're saying things like, Evildea, you just need to, keep pushing around the 1,800, 2,500 hour mark. Your accent will completely clear up everything. I don't want to wait that long anymore. I'm just over waiting that long. My thinking is, even if I continue and I don't reach what's stated in the 1,500 hour mark here, which I don't think I'm going to, if I'm being honest, okay? People will just say it's because I didn't have faith in the method and I'm not happy with the method, and therefore that mentally impacted on me. Maybe that's true in some way or another, but unfortunately that's the state I'm in. I was kind of excited up to the 1,000 hours mark because I had something to look forward to. I had to look forward to being able to speak and the promises that it would start rolling out more and more and more, but it hasn't happened. It just hasn't. I'm forcing it, and because I'm forcing it, it's coming out as a weird Esperanto hybrid. And I fully understand why people say in the ALG community, nah, my speaking is not ready. I need to go listen to another 500 hours. That's where I'm at right now. So I could try speak some Spanish, but like it wouldn't be any more than what I've spoken already in my previous video. So, quiero hablar en español con ustedes, pero no puedo decir muchas cosas. Puedo hablar sobre videojuegos un poco. Pero, like, I can even hear it myself. I keep repeating the same verbs over and over and over and the same little things. Nothing new. Okay, let's try. Okay. En este momento, yo uso mi computadora para hablar con ustedes. Well, that's not even true. That's kind of a lie. Ahora grabar este video sobre mi nivel de español. Like, this actually probably makes me sound a little bit worse than I am, because like I can say a bit more in a gaming context, but not much more. Antes de comenzar a grabar este video, mi trabajo en mi computadora. Después necesito cocinar mi comida. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. That's pretty much it, guys. Sorry. That's the best you're going to get out of me. And you might be thinking, I don't know, maybe some of you are thinking, wow, that you actually said quite a bit there. But I'm pretty sure I'm utilizing right now my entire active word stock, like in that one little thing right there. There might be a few more words, gaming context words, but like I'm utilizing everything that I can think of to try and create sentences right now. So that's my abilities. Let's go, I guess, go watch something on YouTube and see what I understand. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try and listen to some Spanish news and see how much I understand. ¿Qué efecto tiene el café en el cuerpo? So that is like, what effect does coffee have on the body?
Cuando termines de ver este video, en todo el mundo se habrán bebido 8 millones de tazas de café.
Okay, so they're talking about, okay, by the end of this video, I think she said.
Cuando termines de ver este video, en todo el mundo se habrán bebido 8 millones de tazas de café.
So by the time you finish watching this video, around the entire world, there would have been 8 million cups of coffee that have been, drunken.
El café se consume desde hace más de 1500 años.
Okay, so coffee has been consumed for more than some amount of millions of years.
Algunos dicen que su impacto es tan grande que ayudó a impulsar la ilustración.
And she's saying something about, has a great impact and then something about, I don't know, might have been an illusion, illustration, I'm not sure.
que dio lugar a algunas de las grandes ideas que sustentan al mundo tal como lo conocemos.
Something about the great ideas that that we've encountered. See, like, now that I'm like in the moment I understood it. Now I'm translating it, I'm not so certain.
El principal ingrediente activo del café es la cafeína,
So obviously the main ingredient that's active in coffee is caffeine.
considerada la droga psicoactiva más consumida del planeta.
So it's the drug that is most consumed of the planet. There's a new video from Juego con Juárez. Let's just go jump into that one.
Que encaja perfecto sus piezas, lo que él dice, con las piezas de lo que dice ella.
Okay, something about the pieces that he's saying, the pieces with her. And this is listed as A2 to B1. God, that's a bit upsetting.
¿Veis? Encaja perfecto. Están teniendo muy buena cita.
So we're having a really good cita. I don't know what that word is. So what would that be in Argentina? Be a cita? Not sure.
Es una cita perfecta. Vamos a
Okay, so it's something perfect.
ver cómo va esto. Ahí. Esta pieza la ponemos aquí y esta
Okay, so this piece I'll put here and this piece I guess put here.
pieza en la parte de abajo.
Okay, so in the part below. He's going to put it in the part below.
¿Veis? Se comunican a la perfección. Están muy bien.
Yep, so it's really good. Okay, we've got this members only video from Spanish Boost Gaming. I'll jump in, watch a tiny bit of it.
Pagaste 2 facturas por un importe total de $65.
So he's paid two. I'm guessing that word there, just based on Esperanto, would be like invoices for one import totaling $65.
Eso te da un punto de legado. Recibes uno por cada $50 que pagues en factura.
So this is 1 point of legado. I don't know why, but I'm looking at that, and in Esperanto that means reading, but that's not what it means here. Receive one for each $50 that you've paid in the invoices, I'm guessing. I could be totally wrong.
Tengo un punto de legado.
Okay, so he has 1 point of this legado.
Más 2 de daño. Ok.
Okay, 2 in damage.
Ok. Básicamente perdí, pero cuando pagás $50 de factura,
So he's saying he lost, but when he pays $50 in this factura,
ganás un punto de legado.
he gains 1 point of legado, whatever that is.
Cuando morís, obtenés los puntos de legado que conseguiste y podés usarlo para comprar estos anillos.
So he's basically saying when I think he meant like to be killed or kills, that he gains points that he can use to purchase these rings. Okay, so that's pretty much it at the moment, for my current abilities. I don't know. But if you're curious what I would do if I were to stop and this would only happen after my trip back from China, okay? I would definitely reach out to Stuart J. Raj and say, hey, let's clean up my accent. Let's find out what I'm doing wrong. That would be the first step. Second step is I'd probably get a refold Spanish deck and Anki and actually just make sure I know the words. That'd be the next thing. And then I'd probably work my way for a grammar. And I'd do those 3 things consistently for a little while. And then I'd probably return back to trying to speak again. Because at the moment I feel like I'm kind of reinforcing some bad habits. But that's what I would possibly do. I don't know. I really need some incentive, guys. Someone has to incentivize me to keep doing freaking the ALG route to the 1,500 hours right now, because it's so hard to keep it going. I don't know. If you want me to keep going and you're a member of this channel already, let me know down in the comments section, because maybe if I see that all my members are like, bro, you must keep going, that's why I'm a member, then maybe I'll be more inclined. But at the moment, for personal reasons, I'm not feeling it. Anyway, I'm sorry, this video is probably a bit of a downer, but that's the whole point of the series, is to give you guys a realistic look into what I'm feeling each step of the way. Maybe once I come back from China and I've stepped away from Spanish for a bit, and I haven't really thought about it too much, maybe I'll be all energized and I'll want to come at it again hard using the ALG method. But right now, I'm like so borderline. It's not fucking funny. I'll see you all next video. If you're not there, that's probably because I made you depressed and you decided to no longer watch me anymore. I understand. But I'll still find you.